So another big misconception is homosexuality in the Bible. Christians and Muslims love to go crazy and kill them and throw them off roofs and crazy stuff, right? Throughout time. But it's not really forbidden in the Bible the way people think it is. So, first off, lesbianism isn't prohibited at all. It's nowhere in the scripture. And in the Talmud, I believe there's a prohibition or a warning against scissoring for the adult audiences. In that it can damage nerve endings, I think the argument was, and potentially if there's an infection or something, it may up the chances that somebody would receive an infection. But that's about the only prohibition against lesbianism. There's nothing. For men, it's the spilling of the seed. So more than it's two men loving each other, the prohibition, it's the same would be with masturbating. It's really the same, equates to the same sin. Is that spilling, the man should only spill his seed for procreation and no other means. So there's a story in the scripture of the tribe of Judah, who all Jews now take their name from. King David was from the tribe of Judah. Christians called Jesus the Lion of Judah. He had 3 sons initially, and the first one died for, I forget what he did. I don't even know if it mentions what exactly he did, but he was sinful somehow, and he died. And so the second, they have this interesting custom where it's about land rights. So the next son will marry his wife and have kids with her, but the kids will get the inheritance of the elder brother, right? So it's like a weird inheritance. So it was Ir and Onan, I believe, were the 2 older brothers that died. And he didn't want to do this, so he spilled his seed and he died as well. And that's the whole idea of spilling your seed as a sin. That one, he was also trying to kind of screw out his brother's inheritance for himself, and there's all that kind of tie in too, but it was about spilling his seed. And how I understand it, so I met a gay Jewish Orthodox convert when I was going. There was these great festivals where I'm from in Long Beach, California, called Julicious Festivals, and big ups to all that crew. And I was rapping in a video. I thought it was just we were having a cipher out. I do flow, and I'll put up some videos of that probably at some point. But I was flowing with these guys, and they ended up recording it and putting it on the internet. And one of the dudes was this black dude who was a convert, and we all hung out. And after the show, we're like, hey, we'll go chief, we're going to go smoke. So we went back to his hotel with my girlfriend, myself, and this dude. And after the session, we'd smoked, we left. She's like, I think he's gay. And I have terrible gaydar. Even being from Long Beach and had such a big gay community, I have the worst gaydar in the world. I can never tell. And I'm like, that's crazy. He's like Orthodox. What do you mean he's gay? That's crazy. And she's like, no, really, I think he's gay. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And then a year or 2 later, he came out as gay, and he was saying, and this is through him, so I can't vouch for this, that I've read this anywhere and learned this, that technically it's not 2 men can love each other. That's not the sin. That if they could perform tantric sex, I guess, where there's no spilling of the seed, it wouldn't be forbidden. And this is what he said. So take it for what it's worth. But that it's in the spilling of the seed that the sin comes in. It has nothing to do with the 2 men loving each other. And of course, he got a lot of blowback too. But it's an interesting concept, and I'm pretty sure that's how it is. It's, Jews try to include other Jews always. It's always should be about love, really, especially with Hasidus, and the movement's all about loving fellow Jews and living in joy and love and oneness with your community. So that's a big misconception where, especially Muslims in today's age, are really prone towards persecution, And Christians in their day too have a long history of this. And I'm sure there's still some Jewish communities that do odd things too, but for the most part, it's not, lesbianism isn't really forbidden at all. And homosexuality with men is just that men can't spill their seed. So two men loving each other isn't necessarily a sin, it's the spilling of the seed. And that's a huge misconception of the Bible that other monotheistic groups really take to heart, but it's and kind of pick and choose, which is interesting also. But in Judaism, that's more the concept of it. And so I think it's important people know that. So I wish everyone the blessing of understanding that things aren't always what they seem, and sometimes you have to look a little deeper to understand the truth of things. And love is always the way. That it should never be about persecution, and we should love one another and build each other up regardless of lifestyle choices that we don't agree with or whatever people are doing with their own time. As long as nobody's being hurt in the process, let's love one another, be kind, be merciful to one another, and know that a lot of people don't know what they're talking about when it comes to these things. It's an old book with a lot of oral tradition. Only half the story has ever been told. And half the story has only been told because there's a huge amount of oral tradition passed along with the written scripture. So I hope this helps bring more peace to the world. Let's do this, people. Save the humans.
Trying to be a better man. Oh yeah. Trying to do the best I can. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna do right thing. Do right thing. No matter what they want to say. And I'm gonna still fight for you. Still fight for you.